Was down 255 points today to finish at 32,799. The Nasdaq lost 76 to 12,484. The S&P 500 dropped 30 points to 4115. New York oil rose $1.43 to $74.34 a barrel. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. A horrific story out of Alaska. A man in Alaska gets stuck waist deep in mud flats and then drowns before rescuers could get to him. Correspondent Julie Walker reports.
Christy Peterson with the Hope Sunrise Volunteer Fire Department, who was one of the rescuers, says Alaska can be amazing and beautiful, but
you have to remember that it's Mother Nature, and she has no mercy.
20-year-old Zachary Porter from Illinois was walking on tidal mud flats with friends in a remote area Sunday when it happened.
It can suck you down. It looks like it's solid, but it's not. And once the tide starts to come in, it gets wet from the bottom and can loosen up, which then creates a vacuum.
It's claimed at least 3 other lives and many more have been rescued. I'm Julie Walker.
More on these stories available at townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters.
Hey, Peanuts! Welcome to the Hey Peanuts Sports Show, a Wednesday night show that features the sports opinions of the fans sitting up in peanut heaven. This show airs Wednesday nights here on Beaver County Radio, and it is brought to you by TEK Roofing Specialist in Elwood City. The phone lines are open at 724-843-1888 and 724-774-1888. Now, let's introduce your host for the show, Scott Kincaid and Bryan Pasquale.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hey Peanut Sports Show, brought to you by 99.3 WNBA and 95.7 WBVP, brought to you by St. Barnabas. You can also reach us on Facebook at Beaver County Radio Facebook Live. Please go there and hit like. It's a great day today. Got to do a little work. Got to go to the baseball game. Before we get into the baseball game, though, I want to talk a little bit about work. TEK Roofing Specialist. We are installing TAMKO Building Products, the Titan XT shingles. We put them on today on a lovely porch roof. They're the best shingle. They have wind resistance of 160 mile an hour. They have a warranty up to 30 years. And when you do the price check, and all you got to do is call me at TEK Roofing, 412-969-1167. Go ahead and get your pen out, get your phone out, say this number, 412-969-1167. We're certified with TAMKO. We're licensed. We're insured. And for one more week, we're offering a 10% discount if you mention the Hey Peanut Sports Show. I guess that's enough about work for the moment. Let's talk about baseball. So we did a little porch roof today, which is great. And then we're finished like we did the other day game. We had day game today. And so me and a couple of guys, we went out and watched the game. Disappointing end result, but the product's there. I thought it was a good game. I thought we did good. I think we need to bring the third base coach into the office, have a talk with him. I think that's the nice way of putting it.
What inning was that?
That was in the third inning.
Okay.
Bases were loaded. All right. First of all, we didn't get there in time because the parking was atrocious, and I didn't factor for that. So that's my bust. So we're walking in. It's already 3-0, and then we get to our seats. Had pretty good seats. Sit down. As soon as we sit down, it's bases loaded, no outs. And my buddy Jonah said, "Yo, man, we got here just in time to see the good stuff." And so get a hit, get a run in, get an out. Little sacrifice run. And then there's a man on second, man on third. And we discussed this earlier. And I was rough on memory on the names. All I could remember was Mike Rabella, third base coach, because it was just making me steam that he did what he did. So let me get to that point. So he Jack hits the nice outfield shot, kind of a droopy liner in play, fairly deep. Castro's on second, and Joe Dirt's on third, so he scores easy. Yeah, I got that chant going at the game a couple times. People were going Joe Dirt, and then it turned into Let's Go Joe, because people don't. Not everybody's seen Joe Dirt. I guess I thought everybody had seen it. Apparently, I'm one of the few. Anyhow, so he hits it, and Joe Dirt's running home. He's going to make it easily. Castro got a great jump on the hit. He's 15 feet. He's rounding third before the guy gets to the ball in the outfield. He's rounding third, and here's Rebello almost in the baseline.
Yeah, you said he kind of.
You could hear the guy. I could totally hear the guy tell him to hold up over all the crowd screaming. You could hear the third base coach screaming, "Up, stop!" And so he, I don't know if he's trying to avoid an injury, but what he did almost caused an injury because the guy was going home. He was going to be safe, and he wasn't. Held up. All right, no big deal. All right, no, it's a big deal. We never got him in. Left those two guys on. We left a lot of people on base in the game, so that was disappointing. We had bases loaded again in the game and weren't able to produce.
Yeah, I got to watch the eighth inning, and I was like, okay, bases loaded, down one. Here we go, one out. And then I believe we had a little pop fly to left field. Wasn't deep enough to tag up, and then I believe it was Zawinski struck out looking. And that ended the eighth.
That ended the eighth. It did. It's still a good game. I enjoyed watching it. I think we have a good team. At this point, I want to start pointing the finger somewhere. I kind of want to point another third base coach today, but who am I to say? What the fault is? Is it just baseball luck? We're running out of luck because like what we said, the run differential is still up, right? Since last week, we were up. I think we're still up because we're losing 1-run games and we're winning by 2 and 10, and 7.
Let me look it up right now. The run differential still plus 13.
Plus 13, and we're one game over 500.
So who do you point the finger at? I hate the fact that you had that much money on the field, and we always talk about money. Pirate fans, I know you don't want to spend no money at all. How much does a third base coach make? Because if he doesn't make that much, he's solely holding up the money you do have invested, literally holding him up. So I don't know. I still think, like I said, overall, it was a great experience. It was packed to me compared to of late. We looked it up. It was 18,000 something plus.
That's impressive for a day game, for sure.
That was totally, yep. But the reason why we had a hard time parking, I was not expecting like all those people. And there was a lot of disappointed fans there, but it was a good crowd. It was the Kid Day. I don't know if you've ever been on the Kid Day, but
See, I've been there on Sundays whenever they have the kids run the bases at the end, but
no.
This is like a school day?
Yeah,
okay.
The kids go. There were school buses everywhere.
So it's like a Kennywood school day type of thing, but at the baseball park. Gotcha.
Exactly. So it was great to see all. It was lots of fun. The green pierogi won.
Oliver Onion.
No, Oliver's the purple one. The green one's jalapeno Hannah.
Jalapeno Hannah, that's it. Okay, all right.
Yes.
That's always important.
Well, going into that, they said that because I always pull for the orange one. I don't know what their names are. I'm terrible. I just go.
The orange one's Bacon Burt.
Bacon Burt. That's right.
Should not know these off by the top of my head, but I do.
They have their own billboard in the outfield. That's more than I can say for myself. So I guess I should know their names. But anyhow, Bert's been on a 3-game winning streak. And so he came out in the lead, but then you can kind of see, maybe this is rigged.
Oh, no, it's got to be 100% legit. There's no way they're rigging.
Why would you rig the pierogi race? That doesn't make any sense. Because there's actual people betting on that probably somewhere.
I wonder what the Vegas odds are.
I don't know. They kind of have this at every field, right? I think in the Nationals race the presidents and time bobbleheads.
Yeah, I've seen
that. Right. So anyhow, we can talk more about the game. We can talk about the future. I like our road trip. For a few reasons. Beginning of the year, we went on the road. We did well. we seem to be doing pretty good on the road compared to at home. And I don't think that the two teams we're facing coming up are actually anywhere close to as good as the last teams we faced. We keep playing the best in the league, and that it's just been an uncanny year where teams that are normally not that great are great, and there's there's a whole blend. Like I can see the Cardinals coming. You hate to see it, but you can see them in the rear view. They'll be there. They always are. So, but we're not playing them. We're playing the Giants and the Mariners.
Yeah, we have the Mariners starting Friday.
Right, and I do like our matchups there. I like it. I like how McCutcheon is going to be in San Francisco, and maybe he gets a little revenge game. He was a Giant. Right?
Well, who needs to step it up is Brian Reynolds. He had one hit this past series.
Yep.
Batting second, highest paid player. I know, it's a long season and it's only 3 games, but you got to get more than one hit.
Right. Look at Brian Hayes, second highest paid player in history now. We're not talking about just currently on the team, which is also the same, but we're talking about in the history of of our team. They're the 2 top player, and you're right.
All right.
I was not impressed with those guys today as much. Andrew McCutcheon, he's swinging the bat.
He walks too. He gets on base.
Right.
They moved him to leadoff. He was batting third the whole season, and they recently just moved him to leadoff.
Yes, I love that move. And they they didn't today.
They might have changed it up today, but he batted leadoff the previous
think,
2 games.
Maybe he was today.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And then Brian
he made the last
Reynolds
stop.
was second.
Yeah, Reynolds is second.
Right.
I believe they had Zawinski third and Santana fourth. But, April we had 3 sweeps, and it's May now, and we haven't won one single series yet.
5-15.
We stole a game from every series, and I mean we stole the game. Seems like
so.
I think they got swept once. I want to say they got swept at once.
Since last Wednesday.
Oh no, not since last Wednesday.
Oh,
I'm just talking about the month of May.
We had the 2 games against Detroit. We picked one of those up.
And that's as good as they've done. It's been a split.
The split.
Right, and then we played 3 Orioles.
Yeah,
picked one of those up.
Yep.
We stole that one.
Yeah, so far in
and
May.
Then we stole one from these guys too.
Yeah. So far it's been a 3-game sweep at the hands of Tampa Bay, 3-game sweep at the hands of Toronto, losing 2 of 3 against Colorado, losing 2 of 3 against Baltimore, splitting a 2-gamer with Detroit, losing 2 of 3 to Arizona, and losing 2 of 3 to Texas.
So we have 2 more chances in May to win a series.
Yeah.
Seattle, and then next week we have the Giants. Predictions: Are we gonna win 2 out of 3 either series?
Oh, I think we're that roller coaster team. I think we're gonna go out there and sweep both teams.
6 wins in a row.
I think we're gonna win 6 wins in a row.
That's bold.
So more wins in the next 6 games than we've had all month.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's your opponent that you're playing.
Right.
It's who we're playing. I love the matchups between these 2 teams, and I like us on the road. I don't know why.
They are better on the road than they are at home.
And they really, over history, they really do well on the West Coast.
That's true. Especially in somewhere like San Francisco. Seattle, it's hard to say because...
Depends on the weather.
And what year it is, because you just don't go to Seattle that often.
Right.
But, yeah, no, I agree. I think they'll do all right in San Francisco. I think they'll go 3-3. They might, I think they'll take 1 out of... Actually, I'll be optimistic. 4-2.
You're going to say 2 and 3 each series?
Yeah, 2 out of 3 each
That's
series.
kind of what I'm hoping for.
So coming home, 2 games over 500.
And the
in
Brewers, who are a game...
my prediction of 6 games over 500.
But the Brewers, they have to play the Giants, and then they play Toronto, and we're a game and a half back of them.
2 now.
It's a 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, game just ended?
Won.
Okay.
They won today, and they knocked
4-0. They beat the
Okay,
Astros.
so they're 28 and 22 now?
They are 27.
27 and 22. Okay.
Yeah. They're 5 games over. We're 1 game over, and somehow they're 2 games in front of us. Math.
Right, and then we got Chicago's 5 games back, and Cardinals are 5.5,
and the Reds are 6.5. So no rest for the wicked.
No, but I do like this road trip. I think we're going to bounce back. We're a roller coaster team type of thing. I'd like to see us play teams that aren't as good.
You want to play the last place teams?
I know that seems obvious.
I think the Oakland Athletics are in the near distant future.
Oh, that'd be a great team.
The homestand when the Pirates turn home, it is a 9-game homestand. Cardinals, Athletics, Mets.
Okay.
Ooh, that'll be tough. Now the Mets are struggling. So
Mets have the same record as the Pirates do. So it might be a more even matchup than we think.
Well, we're struggling. So the Mets are struggling.
That's true.
I wish we were struggling. We are doing way worse than struggling right now.
Well, it could be a lot worse. Without the great start, then we're sitting here wondering, who's going to be last place? Are we going to even get 80 wins? Even if we go 500 right now, we get 82 wins from right now.
Real close.
Right.
Maybe one game above it.
I like it. I like 88 wins.
You're still sticking with that.
I do. I have faith in it. I saw a good team today. We just didn't win. Hey, guys, you've been listening to 99.3 WNBA and 95.7 WBVP. It's brought to you by St. Barnabas. The Hey Peanut Show can be heard or watched on Beaver County Facebook Live. Please go on there, say like, give us a comment, or give us a call, 724-843-1888, 724-774-1888.
Some things just seem to go together well. Like salt and pepper, love and marriage, pencils and paper, and liver and onions. What? Liver and onions? Who wrote this? Hi, this is Andy Dangle from Freedom United Federal Credit Union, here to talk about two other things that go great together, cars and cash. If you're like me, you like both of those things, and right now, during Cars and Cash Month, Freedom United is making their unbelievable new and late model auto loan available so you can get all the cash you need to get the car you've been dreaming of, based on credit approval and vehicle purchase. Cars and Cash. That's a combination that you can't beat. Look for a picture of me holding all the cash you'll need, along with other details about Cars and Cash Month in the Freedom United Facebook feed. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Freedom United Federal Credit Union proudly presents the return of Beaver County's #1 buy, sell, and trade show, Yankee Trader. The all-new Yankee Trader is back, and popular show host Diane Brocious will return to host every Saturday morning from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Beaver County Radio. So get ready to buy, sell, and trade every Saturday, right here on Beaver County Radio. The Yankee Trader Show is brought to you by your friends at Freedom United Federal Credit Union in Rochester.
Hi, I'm Kirsten from Pentatonics. We've all learned how to cope with more time alone. With more time spent isolated or at home, the need for companionship has grown. If you've considered adding a pet to your family, please check with your local shelters and foster organizations. Stray pet numbers have grown immensely over the past several years, and the trauma caused to these animals is devastating. Adopt pets, they need us more than we know. This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Tune in to Live Mike with Mike Romai, presented by Heritage Valley Health System, weekdays from 6:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's an all-new show on Beaver County Radio, where Mike discusses the issues important to Beaver County. There's also special guests, weather, sports with Matt Durzick, and news every half hour with Curtis Walsh. So tune in to Live Mike with Mike Romai, weekdays, right here on Beaver County Radio.
Your community, your radio stations, originating from the St. Barnabas Control Studio in Beaver County. 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge.
Hey, Peanuts! Hey, guys, welcome back. The Hey Peanut Sports Show. Scott and Brian here. We got to bring up the Jus1More Sports Bar. It's our favorite place in Beaver Falls, down here on 7th Avenue, right? They're having calzones tonight again as a special. I did not have a calzone.
I saw one come out. It looked amazing.
What did you have?
I had the club wrap.
Club wrap.
Yeah, but the curly fries. Curly fries were so good.
Their curly fries are good.
Yes.
Yes. So, we love it down there. Love Amanda. Just love all the people down there at Jus1More Sports Bar. The service is great. The wing nights tomorrow night, 42 flavors. They asked me to put the word out. Go to Jus1More Sports Bar Facebook page. They're having a contest there. They want you to vote and let the customers decide what the Sunday special is. I'm not really sure the details. Go to the Facebook page, and
you were telling me you had breakfast there the other day.
Yes, they have new hours now. Monday through Thursdays, 11 to 12, but then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they open up at 8. Friday and Saturday, they stay up to 1. But, yeah, they have breakfast, and it was incredibly good.
Awesome.
I mean, that's the breakfast spot for me now if I can get out there on the weekends. I had the breakfast, like this giant breakfast burrito that I couldn't even eat the whole thing. It was so big. It was so good. Again, Jus1More Sports Bar. There's a big event coming down the road. We're just going to keep that on the low down right now, but just circle your calendar for a date to be determined in July. You're going to want to get down there and check out what's going on at the Jus1More Sports Bar. I'm sure if you go down there today, they'll tell you everything I'm not allowed to. Right yet.
They have you duct taped.
Well, I never thought I'd be regulated, but I guess I am on the radio show.
I think that's a good thing.
Probably is. I try to self-regulate as much as possible in my old age because it hurts if you miscalculate.
I miscalculate multiple times a day.
So back to the Pirates. Talk a little bit of Pirates. I know there's a lot of sports we can talk about.
What's the chatter about maybe bringing up some guys with the lack of, I wouldn't say total hitting, but in a few positions, especially catcher. Any thoughts on Henry Davis coming up from Double-A? Possibly. He's batting about 300 down there.
I don't know why we have Chris Owings. They brought him up. He hasn't done anything yet. He was supposed
in my notes. I have 3 question marks next to his name.
I watched him bat. He is. I think he's under 200, like 170, something like that.
Oh, it's even worse than that.
It's even worse because he didn't hit today.
167.
Right. That's after today. That 170 something was what they put on the billboard today.
So that's like having a pitcher bat. You have Hedges batting.
He's an outfielder.
He played today.
Do we need an outfielder?
No, Owings I thought played short.
Owings, they have him listed as a second baseman.
Yeah, I think he played short today though.
Position.
But they've been, I don't know
Position
what they're doing.
Player. They move people around all the time.
Shortstop and second base, they've been just rotating people. It's just
they've been experimenting.
Right. They made the field today, I'm pretty sure, but he didn't bat at the very end. He didn't bat, but he made the field today.
I was watching the game Tuesday, and this lovely girl sitting next to me, she was like, that Bay guy, he sure is pretty.
Well, I think you just explained why I shouldn't even say that either. I'm self-regulating again.
Self-regulation.
Self-regulating again. Better not get in trouble with the other genders.
264. That's what Bay's hitting right now. So he's not doing bad.
No, he doesn't walk that much though. I was looking that up. Because I was thinking, why don't they bat him leadoff with all of his speed? His batting average is pretty high, but I think his on-base percentage is like only over 300.
Yeah, 317.
Yeah, you need to be over 364 according to Billy Bean and Moneyball.
Well,
over 364, you say? Okay,
McCutcheon is. I know that.
There are actually he's not 363. He's right
really?
on the border. There are only 4 players right now. Well, yeah, only 4 players right now on the Pirates stat lines that have above that, and only one of them's a regular, and that's Rodolfo Castro, 366.
What's McCutcheon? McCutcheon, I thought it seems like he's been on base a lot.
Well, he's right under 363.
363, so he's right on that line. Connor Joe's 362, and Jack Sawinski falls off at 342, and then it just goes down from there.
It's these question marks on the roster, though, because we can put these guys on, and then all of a sudden there's that one chink in the armor, the one guy in the lineup that when you need him to do something, does nothing.
When the bases are loaded in the 8th and you need just a long fly ball at least, maybe?
Something. They bunted at one point today in a situation. I think it was first and third, and they bunted to move a guy, or maybe it was first and second. Well, they bunted today, and it was a few attempts to try and bunt, and it didn't go according to plan. It didn't look good on that end. And I always thought bunting should be like, that's so fundamental. My buddy Joel, he teaches baseball, so you teach him how to bunt. He goes, no, they don't. But the parents wouldn't pay me to teach my kid how to bunt. There's nothing to teach there.
We're teaching you how to hit launch angle so you can hit home runs, not bunt down the third base line.
Right. So I mean, it's a lost art, I think. And then we take it for granted. I think even on the major leagues, take it for granted. Hey, we'll just make him bunt. It should be easy. And if the guys don't practice bunting and no one's taught them how to bunt and it's supposed to be easy, and then all of a sudden the guy gets up there and, oh, wait, you should have told us you couldn't bunt before we told you to bunt, I guess. Maybe they should be checking this out in advance. Hey, can we see if this guy bunts before we tell him he's going to bunt? I mean, it was pretty bad. One of the bunts, though, I should say, looked like it was going to be one of those classics. Just sit right on the line and not go anywhere. And like, okay, that's fair, but it went. And it two more rotations and it rolled over. Yeah, and the people, the stands. It was electric today. It was really.
I can't believe it was half full. You said-ish, give or take.
Yeah,
that's crazy for a day game. I mean, it was beautiful out.
Well, Jonah, my partner, he went last night. He's a big Pirates fan. I mean, he is the most optimistic about it of any Pirates fan I ever met. They're going to the World Series every year. They're going to the World Series. It's just had bad luck. We have the best. We got McCutchen back. We're going to the World Series and taking it all. He just believes in it.
Right.
And I love that. I love that about him. I love being around that energy. And I love taking him to the game. And then it was kind of sad. His heart, you could see it was broke a little. He didn't speak much on the way home because he's a true fan. He's just like the Steeler Nation. He's the Pirates Nation. He's one of them. And he's a young kid. So, I mean,
that's good. They need youth going to games.
There was definitely youth today. There was lots of buses, so it was like
you said it was, what, a school day or something?
Yeah, well.
A bunch of different schools all went down?
Well, it's the last day game of the year. Everybody's getting out of school before the next day game comes to
okay.
Park. So, it's usually 7th, 8th graders. It's not like the itty-bitty kids or even the high schoolers who.
I went one time, and I believe it was a Sunday, and it was Father's Day. And me and my two buddies, we took our kids, and my daughter was real young then. And just as we were going to run the bases, it started pouring down rain.
Oh, jeez.
And let me tell you, my daughter was cruising like from third to home, and I was like, just don't fall. Please don't fall. I didn't fall, so.
Oh, that's good. That's good. My kid would have dove like Pete Rose. He would have been like, woo!
No, I would have slid like O'Neill Cruz into home.
Oh, God. That's terrible. He'd be in a cast like he is. I think his recovery's going well. I did hear that the recovery on him is going really well.
I heard he might be back in August.
Yes.
August.
Well, I heard in July he should be back in, like, playing down in the minors. Like, you say back in August, you mean back at, that's what I think, too, back at PNC Park, because you got to go.
You have to go for a week or two down in the minors and get some swings in. I just wonder how his mobility will be. You know, will he be a shortstop for the rest of the season, or you know, like, is he 100% healed, or is it something that, like, his mobility's not 100%?
He's young, so like
that might depend
faster,
and that might depend too on where the Pirates are at in the standings. Because if they're out of it by that point, I would say maybe
he doesn't even come back. They keep him down there.
I DH him or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say DH him for
play
a few
him at
games.
First, maybe. I don't know if he could play first, but
I feel like he's too. It would be almost be insulting to have him at first.
Right.
Oh, he's a great first baseman. That'd be a great first. He's so long.
The dude's
tall.
True.
He's tall. He's tall and long. He's
but that arm is so good that it feels too. Just to have him just stand there at first seems a little useless.
Yeah.
Well, but if his legs aren't,
I can tell you they miss his bat. So, and they miss his fielding too, but I think they really miss his bat.
I think they miss the defense more, honestly.
Oh, they've been horrible on defense and shortstop for sure, Matt.
Yeah.
They had the worst error today. Who was on first? Castro.
Was it Castro or Santana today?
Santana, I guess.
Yeah,
Went right
Santana's
through
the
his
first.
legs. And then second base was backing him up, went through his legs too. It was like the Bad News Bears. But the play ended up being irrelevant. So, I mean, we got out of the inning. But that kind of thing happens sometimes to the Pirates at the worst time. That just happened to happen today.
I'll tell you what, I've seen McCutchen making some running errors lately too. You know, just what the heck was it? That it was first and third the other night, and I don't know if it was a hit and run or something. They threw it down to second. McCutchen broke to go home, and then he didn't even try in the rundown. He just stood there and let them tag him.
Makes you wonder about that third base coach again, doesn't it? Now, we're going to talk
You
about
do
running.
not like him.
Well, I mean, it's one thing if it's just one incident, but I imagine if we went back and we counted all the base running problems, the guy's not just the guy on third base going go home or stop or whatever. He's the coach forward running. That's his job, is to teach these guys how to run, what we're doing, all this stuff. And maybe McCutchen's a veteran, and this guy's 2 years out of being the Detroit catcher.
And he's that young, so he's in his 30s?
He played in 2019, 3 years out.
Okay, so he might be maybe 40-ish, somewhere in that ballpark.
Right. So, but I mean, he's a new coach. He used to be a player. He's a new coach, and so I'm wondering. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm wondering if that's not one of the things that's going on with us.
When I played, my coach always told me, "Listen to me. If you're out, it's my fault. You know, not me, but the coach's fault." So I don't know if that translates to what they do, and if the major league guys listen to their coach like I did. I don't know.
If that's that guy's philosophy, he needs to be fired because he doesn't make that much money, and he's making decisions that he can't afford. I think costs the game today,
especially in a one-run game.
I mean, it could have been. We could have been tied, and who knows where it would have went. It's a lot of hypotheticals there. But the game was tied if it weren't for that guy. In the third inning, I was there. I mean, there was no way that guy was going to throw him out at home. Absolutely no way. It was a no-brainer decision to just stand there and watch him score.
Did the crowd boo the third base coach?
Oh, my God, it was horrible. It was terrible.
Do you think they would have sent Oliver Onion?
What's bad is he's fast. Castro's fast.
Right.
He's like really fast.
Yeah.
And he's gritty. He's tough. He's got he has the body to go in head first and not worry about breaking anything. I don't understand what they were doing today. So when we point the finger, we like to point the finger at the player because we're paying them all the money.
Well,
but I mean,
we'll keep our eye on the third base coach.
But you just said something that let's go back to what you just said. The coach said, "You do what I say, and then it'll be my fault."
Right.
I don't think that applies to the Pirates today. I think the coach is not getting. He can't go. Mike Ribello didn't go to the press conference after the game and go, "Hey guys, it was my fault. I did that. Don't blame everybody else." He didn't do that. We all blamed somebody else. No one's bringing this guy's name up. No one's talking about, at least I haven't heard anybody talking about this situation, and we've been talking about it since the beginning. We actually said on the second show, who's the third base coach? I don't know, the next week.
It's such an important
position. We
position.
never looked it up. And then today I saw it firsthand, and I did my research on him finally, but I really think that's one of the problems. And I mean, Ribello, you're probably a really nice guy. I don't want to, I'm not a hater, but just the same, you need to step up your game, teach these guys how to run, get on a plan, and let's get these guys home. Put the bread in the bag, as they would say. That's what my coach would say. I'm here to put the bread in the bag.
What does that mean? Bread in the bag.
You're rounding third. You're the bread. Home plate's the bag.
Okay.
Put the bread in the bag. Don't sit there and hold the bread up.
Okay.
The bread, henceforth, is the money. He's the money.
I never heard that. Was that a Southern thing? I don't know if I ever heard that saying.
I don't know. Tennessee's so in between. It's a Tennessee thing, maybe.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll have to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe this week.
Once you explained that bread meant money, I understood, because money in the bag, it's like a bank robbery and bread equals money. So, but up here, when you say bread in the bag, it's just literally the bread in the bag. Like, are you talking like Schwabels or something? Like, what are you doing here?
Well, I mean,
Wonder
think
Bread.
about it. You've seen the meme before, right? You had one job, and then some guy. You see a picture of a guy of a hot dog bag with hamburger buns in it. You had one job. You just had to put the right bread in the right bag. This guy's job is not even to decide whether it's hot dog buns or hamburger buns. It's just put the bread in the bag. You just had one job and do it. Just
This
let them
metaphor
go.
somehow got more confusing.
I'm completely lost now.
That's okay.
You're saying he should have waved him home, is what you're saying.
Yes, he should have done his job, and that's your job, is to wave him home. I mean, I could understand if it was going to be close, but it wasn't even going to be close.
Yeah.
The guy throwing it was in indecision of whether or not he was going to throw it even.
Didn't make a whole lot of sense.
And then when he did throw it, it was nowhere close to home.
Oh, it was
plate.
offline.
Oh, yeah. It was terrible. Hey, I guess we're done with that segment. That one went fast.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I need to put the bread in the bag. You've been listening to 99.3 WBVP, 95.7 WNBA at BeaverCountyRadio.com and Facebook Live. 412-969-1167 is TEK Roofing Specialist. Give us a call for your roofing needs. You got 1 week. Get 10% off. We'll be right back.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, a law firm of AV-rated attorneys and super lawyers. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, helping you put your life back together. Attorney Joe George.
You worry about getting better. You worry about taking care of the medical side of things. We'll take care of all the legal side. I don't want you worrying about whether a letter needs to go out to an insurance company. You worry about getting to your doctor's appointments. You worry about getting your physical therapy appointments. You worry about getting better. If you have to have surgery, you worry about take you back and forth to the surgical center or the hospital. And all those things, I try to put my client at ease from the standpoint of, look, this is where things are going to go. You just worry about getting there on your side of things.
For your initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
Beaver County Radio wants to pay tribute to our veterans on Memorial Day that have passed away. We are asking anyone who would like to pay tribute to a veteran that died in the line of duty or any veteran who has passed away to email a picture along with their name, years of service, and what year they passed away to fsparks@beavercountyradio.com. On Memorial Day during live mic and teleforum, we will periodically read the names of those veterans on the air to honor them. Beaver County Radio's Memorial Day tribute to our veterans is being brought to you by Al's Corner, Town Square Restaurant, Slurp and Burp Boba Tea, CJ Rombold Engine Builders, Vintage Torque, Spratt's Funeral Home in Beaver Falls, Firehouse Subs, the Henderson Agency, Friendly Federal Credit Union, and Beaver County Radio.
The warm weather is back, and that can only mean one thing. Pirates baseball for a 75th season on Beaver County Radio. Tune in and listen to the Pirates Radio Network broadcast team as they take you through every pitch, hit, and out of the 2023 baseball season. Make sure you set your radio dial to WBVP WNBA 99.3 FM or 95.7 FM for all the action. Pirates baseball is being presented locally by the St. Barnabas Health System, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Falcone's Moon Township Board, Keystone Wellness Program, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, and Beaver County Radio, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA.
St. Barnabas thanks you for listening to Beaver County Radio.
Hey, Peanuts!
Hey guys, welcome back to 99.3 FM, WBVP, 95.7 WNBA, BeaverCountyRadio.com, Facebook Live. We got Brian and Scott here. Brian's got some sad news to say.
Yes.
It was terrible when I heard about it, but we'll go ahead and let you break the news
Yeah,
if you haven't heard
unfortunately,
yet.
Tina Turner, age 83, passed away. I guess she's been dealing with some health issues lately, and it's not funny. It's ironic. Yesterday, whenever I do work, I remodel kitchens, bathrooms, some things like that, and whenever I do a really nice job on something, I start singing that song, "You're Simply the Best," to myself, and I was singing it yesterday, and then, the news today that Tina Turner, 83, passed away. Rolling on a river up in heaven.
Yeah.
I always remember her for What's Love Got to Do with It and the whole Tina story, and it's sad. It really is. She was multi-talented. She was the main character, I think. She outshined Mel Gibson in the Mad Max Thunderdome. Do you remember that movie?
I did not see that movie.
Oh,
I have not seen it either.
Oh my goodness.
Joe Dirt and Mad Max, Thunderdome?
Mad Max from Thunderdome, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of those.
Oh,
They're not on my list either, but you're saying that's a good one?
No, I didn't say that was a good one.
Oh.
No, she did good. She was multi-talented.
Well, okay.
She was
did really well. Okay.
She really did well. It was kind of in that era of movies. In the, I don't know, what would you say when that movie came out? Probably late 80s, mid 80s,
early 90s. I want to say. Let me double check. You're talking about Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome,
right? I would say that if it came out about the same time Waterworld came out, it kind of had that same feel.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It was 1985.
Right. So, and
Back to
Mad
the
Max
Future
was a
came out.
great hit. Mad Max was a great hit from Australia, and that's how Mel Gibson got on. But then, by the time it came to part 3, right, Thunderdome was 3. There was a 2 and a 3, and now I think there's and they just redid the first one, but it's nothing like the first one. So, whatever. We're talking about Tina. So,
yep.
I always liked her. She had great legs.
Yes.
She was like J-Lo. She had insurance on her legs. J-Lo has insurance on her butt. $1 million. Anything happens to her butt, they're gonna give her $1 million.
Is that it?
That
seems a little low.
Seems a little J-Lo.
A little J-Lo, yes.
There you go. But we've been it's been kind of a solemn week. I got to say something real quick. I'm gonna let you get into your part of the sports here. My side of the family, praying for our Pap Perry. He's been in the hospital. It looks like he's getting out though pretty soon. So just want to throw it out there, Pap, if you're listening. We love you, buddy, and we're hoping for your quick return to McDonald's. The place is not the same without you in the morning, I promise. All right, so now we're going to get away from
There's a little Steelers news. They signed an outside linebacker, Marcus Golden, who 3 times in his career has had double-digit sacks. And basically, I think he's going to get into the mix. When Watt does his load management, which drives me crazy, he'll probably get in and play some snaps, some series. So he's kind of like the third outside linebacker for the team.
What's his history? Where's he from?
He was at the Cardinals last year. He's been in the league, I want to say like 8 or 9 years, and 3 of those he's had double-digit sacks. So,
So he's good.
He's good.
It's a good signing. Yes, depth. We had no depth last year. It was just somebody got hurt. It was.
That's where they're
trouble.
going. That's where they're going to put the ball. That's where they're going to run it.
Yeah, they're really stacking the team up. They're going big. Everybody they're getting is big, and they really are focusing on depth this year because there's so many injuries, especially with the concussion protocol anymore.
You got it. They got
you've got to have a lot of depth.
Right. Yeah,
They also, speaking of depth, they signed Trubisky to a 3-year extension, which I did not see that coming.
Oh, I thought it was a 1 year.
No, the Rudolph is a 1 year.
Oh, Trubisky's a 3 year.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
Trubisky was signed for 2 years, so this was going to be his final year of a contract with the Steelers. They signed him for 3 years, and really surprising, they signed Rudolph for 1 year. So I don't get that one, but
well, like you said, concussion
Concussions.
protocol. Pickett is.
Yeah, he had 2 last year. How many concussions did the guy from the Dolphins?
Tagovailoa.
Didn't he have like 5 last year or something?
Something like that. It was too many.
Right.
Yeah, he missed like 5 games on 2 concussions. I think that's how that went.
Whatever it was ugly to watch.
Well, they're extra safe down there.
And then wasn't there a big controversy too, where I think they sent him back in? when he was concussed, and then it leaked out that.
Oh, you could see it. Everybody, I watched it from my couch. My wife's a Dolphins fan. Sorry,
I love Dan Marino, so
that's why
Dolphins
she's
are always
fan.
like my second team, you know.
Yes. Her grandmother and Dan Marino's mother used to have tea together, and when my wife was little, she became a Marino fan, and she liked the colors of the Dolphins.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
And the little
The blue,
fish,
orange.
and it's so bright. It's so much better than when you're a little girl, it's so much more girl-like than the Steelers. And Grandma's, and she's a Steeler. She was a big Steeler fan. She was friends with Dan Marino's mom, and so it was okay for my wife when she was little. Like, it's okay, you can be a Dolphins fan. Well, Grandma said I could be a Dolphins fan. So uncharacteristic for families up here to me. And you're a Steelers fan, by golly. Although, now my brother-in-law, he's a Colts fan. So, diehard Colts fan. Goes to the training camp, just lives, breathes, dives Colts. Drives blue cars, or I don't know what color his car is now, but he's got horseshoes tattooed on his body. And he's a Pirates fan. He's from here. He just never was into the Steelers.
Was he always a Indianapolis Colts fan, or was he a Baltimore Colts fan?
No, he's not that old.
As well. Okay.
No,
Okay, so
but
younger.
my father-in-law was a Colts fan, and that's where he got that from.
So he must have been a Baltimore Colts fan, and then they got on the Mayflower trucks in the middle of the night and just moved to Indianapolis, didn't tell anybody in the city.
Yeah.
That had to have been, that radio show that next morning had to have been awesome. The Colts just packed up and went to Indianapolis.
I don't. They expect them to do well this year. I don't see it happening. I think they're going to be bad.
You know who didn't do well
in the draft?
Well, I was going to move to NBA.
Oh, yeah. I guess you're happy.
There's a particular player.
But you know what? He has gotten so much exposure over this. He got more exposure over losing and getting swept than he would have if he won.
Yeah,
I know
he's like Aaron Rodgers.
He is like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, LeBron James saying, "Oh, I might retire," and he put out some weird post about something about going to college and playing a different sport. I don't even know it was a weird tweet. I don't understand what he was even talking about.
No, he definitely looked like he had used his medical marijuana card after the game, because when you looked at the speech or the talk to him, I don't know. What am I? Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to quit, or I don't know what future basketball has for me. And yeah, I saw it. It's really dumb. It was totally terrible. And then somebody orchestrated it. His PR team orchestrated that. They had already planned on him losing, and already, this is what we're going to do. This is what you say, because then people will still be talking about you. And
yeah, even though you're not relevant anymore.
But, well, to him, the Western Conference Championship is not a big deal. To anybody else that didn't make it this year, that's pretty good.
Right.
Okay, so you can't tell me that guy's going to retire. Just like you couldn't tell me 3 years ago when Aaron Rodgers said he was going to retire, that he was going to retire. I knew he wasn't. He was trying to get traded, get more money, get re-signed, make the attention about him, and he's done nothing to – even now, he's going to the Jets. He did nothing in the last two I was going to retire years, comebacks, whatever, to make me think that you're that good. You have to go back 4 or 5 years to really impress me, Aaron Rodgers, with what you bring to the NFL. There's too much young talent right now.
Wasn't Rodgers, didn't he was like in the news, I guess, the past few days for the OTAs. He strained like a calf or something.
It was yesterday. He
Okay.
twisted his ankle. It was a news break. It was like, woo, sports news break. Boom. They talked about it for a good 45 minutes. And just
He's very
left there.
egotistical.
Right. I don't think he hurt his ankle either. They just kind of limped a little, and they kept replaying the limp a little, and then they took a break and came back out. He played 7 more series, and he looked fine. I'm not buying into that stuff.
So, yeah, speaking of series.
That was a great sweep. I think they are really good, the Nuggets. I don't think anybody's going to. I know you love Jimmy Butler, but I just don't think they got anything for this guy.
So
for this team,
the Heat's up 3-1. The Celtics won last night. The Denver Nuggets swept the Lakers, and I want to say when all sports was not happening during the COVID year, when there wasn't sports, I was doing a lot of sports research. I just had a lot of time on my hands because there was no sports to watch, and
right.
I loved the last.
Nowhere to go.
Right. And I had my top 10 most overrated NBA players that are currently in the league, right?
Where was LeBron?
And he was 2.
Okay. Who was number 3? Because I already know the answer.
Okay, so number 3, I had Jokic. Okay. I was wrong 1,000%. This guy is the real deal.
He's a workhorse.
I mean, Anthony Davis is a great defender, and he was doing these step-back threes right in Davis's face. You know, Davis's wingspan's like 7'2" or something ridiculous, and he's just drilling threes over top of him, did whatever he wanted. Jamal Murray played well. And I think what you were talking about, I like Jimmy Butler. I hope the Miami Heat win, but I don't see them winning. And the reason being is they don't have a lot of size.
They don't have anybody down low.
You know, Adebayo, he's only like 6'9". The Nuggets, they have Gordon, Porter, Jokic. They're all 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot, and they can all shoot. You know, not so much Gordon, but, you know, they had 4 players shoot over 40% from 3 in that series with Murray, Jokic, Porter, and Pope. So I see Denver maybe even sweeping in the finals.
I don't know. There's a magic down in Miami. I don't think they'll get swept.
Well, they still got to beat Boston.
Hopefully for the people that are sponsoring the NBA right now, they really hope they don't get another sweep coming down the stretch here because they get more money out of the longer series.
Assuming Miami beats Boston and finishes the job, I'm going to say Nuggets in 6. I think Butler's going to steal 2 of the games.
That's fair.
I think that's a good one. I think
that's very fair. Yeah,
I can see you going 7.
I don't know about that.
I can see you going 7.
I don't know, man. This Denver team, they just shoot so well. I remember in the bubble, they were playing the Clippers, and they were down 3-1 in the series, and they were down all 3 games. They came back and won. They were down over 20 in the second half, and they just didn't miss. They just caught fire. I really believe in this team, and like I said, I'm going to root for Jimmy Butler in the Heat, but
I'm pulling for Miami.
We'll see. We'll see about that. You know, it's
there's nothing in Colorado that I don't, you know, I'm just not I don't have a lot of experience out there, but if you had your choice of going on vacation, would you go to Miami or would you go to Denver? Not Colorado, but Denver.
Oh, I definitely go to Miami.
Okay. That's just nothing in Denver.
I don't know. I heard it's the sunniest city. They have more sunny days than any other city.
What, Denver?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
My best friend from college, he moved out there, and that's what he'd always say. He's like, yeah, it would snow, and then the next day it's completely gone because the sun came out and just.
I guess when you live above the clouds, I guess that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, the elevation up there is definitely better.
The opposite is Seattle and Pittsburgh.
Yes.
That's the complete opposite.
Right. Which I guess, I mean, you think of Seattle has a reputation of being really rainy and cloudy and all this other stuff, but Pittsburgh is actually worse.
Yes.
They're
that's
worse
why we both drink so much coffee.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Too many clouds. Not sunny days. Need that coffee to get going. Not getting the vitamin D.
I missed my cup of coffee yesterday morning. It took me, and I had to deal with my dogs. I had to do all this stuff, and I just never realized how important it was to me until I where's my cup of coffee? There's no coffee here. I had to go to the store and get a cup of coffee because I have to have. You are a traditional coffee drinker. You just drink that bean water.
Right, black coffee.
Right, I got to put sugar and cream in mine. So,
well, I did in college. I did a lot of sugar, a lot of cream, and it was a really snowy winter, and we were studying for finals. I remember, and you couldn't park anywhere close to the dorm rooms, right? And we ran out of sugar cubes, and we ran out of milk, and so while we were staying up late, we would drink the coffee black. So then after finals, whatever, I go home and I go to Eaton Park. And I sit down and I get my coffee and I put cream and sugar in it like I normally liked it. And it was so gross to me. And so I just drank my coffee black.
They say it's acquired.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's
when I was in the service, in the MRE, they would give you the instant coffee, and then you would get a hot chocolate, 1 packet of sugar, which was not enough, and 1 little thing of creamer, which I didn't care for. So you mix all that together, and it makes a good cup of coffee from the MRE. It's like a chocolate coffee.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
It's too hot out there for coffee. I put ice cubes in mine now.
Well, I mean, that's why it's instant. You don't get hot water.
Right.
When the MRE, you're out there in the field, it's coffee. Again, you just got to get that caffeine. So, Who do you like in the hockey? We got just a couple minutes here. We just wrap this up.
Well, let's ask Matt
bit.
because he's Mr. Hockey.
Yeah. I say right now it's Vegas's cup to win or lose, assuming they beat Dallas. I mean, I like Florida. I'm going to root for Florida. I've always been kind of a fan of Sergei Bobrovsky, even when he was with the Jackets. I just don't know if that team's going to be able to handle. I think Vegas is too deep. I think the offense is a little stronger, and I say this knowing very full well that the Panthers could expel more Magic and take that series in 5.
Right.
Well, they play tonight, right? I believe
Yeah,
the
they
Panthers
play
play
tonight. Game 4 tonight.
Yeah,
Game 4 tonight of that series. Game 4 tomorrow night, and they both can end up being sweeps.
Yeah, it's 3-0.
You being the big Penguins fan too, Matt. So 2 games. If we'd have won 2 games. That's us.
I know.
That's us.
Yeah,
That's not the Panthers.
Everybody's been saying it. Everybody's been saying it that
it's terrible.
If they had beaten the Blackhawks, they wouldn't have gotten the number 1 pick. The Panthers would have made the playoffs, yada, yada. I've heard it, and I'm tired of it.
I like it that the Stanley Cup's going to be somewhere it hasn't.
That's true.
That'll
That is
be
gonna be
interesting.
nice.
I hate seeing it going. All these trophies, I hate seeing them just go to the same team every year.
Right.
Love to see these organizations.
Which is why I'm rooting for the Nuggets.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So you've been listening to 99.3 FM WBVP, 95.7 WNBA, BeaverCountyRadio.com, Facebook Live. Call TEK Roofing. You know you need your roof done. Don't wait until it's too late, and you got to get a guy like Brian to come and fix your ceiling too. 412-969-1167. Look forward to seeing you guys again next week. I think we'll, by then, know a little bit more about the Pirates. I think we'll be up. You have a good week, guys.
You're listening to 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas. In addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460